Good morning, class. I suppose. I hope we're all settled down and we're all getting comfortable. And if we're all good, I'd like to get started. If everyone can see the screen, um, you see the pictures here. I would like you all to, think amongst yourselves. You know, yeah, you can discuss with a partner. What do each of these pictures have in common? And if you'll just take a moment, I'd like you to think on that, discuss. And now that now that we're done discussing, I suppose, uh, you are right. You are right. They are all characters. They all are from either TV, movies, books. They are all characters. You're right on that. So now that we know that they're all characters, I'd like for you to discuss with a partner, your neighbor, your friend, what exactly is a character. Where might you find a character? Where do they belong? How would you describe a character? What parts of maybe a movie or a book tells you about that character? How do you know a person, say Superman, for instance, how do you know he's strong or brave or heroic? And then when you get through with that, maybe give a few more examples of character. What are some of your favorite characters that you uh, find in things you like to enjoy. Um, and when we're through with that, character. As you've been discussing, a character is a person or an individual that is found in a book, a film, a TV show, really anything. If it tells a story, there is a character or more, multiple characters within it. And that can be broken down with your main character. These are the people or multiple people that the story of the film is about. This is the main person. Sometimes their name might actually be in the title. Clifford the Big Red Dog. Clifford, the story is about Clifford. He is the main character. Harry Potter, Spider-Man, they are the main characters of their story. And then from that, you also have your side or your secondary characters, which are characters that are found in the story or your film, but it's not about them. For instance, in Harry Potter, Harry Potter would be your main character, and your side characters, your secondary characters, are characters that show up. The story's not about them. Say Dumbledore or Hagrid, any of those. And Spider-Man, the Green Goblin may be a secondary character. But when it comes to character, it's more about the description. And this comes down to direct versus indirect description, or otherwise known as characterization, which is description of character. Big fancy term for that. Direct characterization tells about the character through clear or very obvious statements. It says it outright. He is, she is, they are. And this might be anything from appearance, such as clothing, hair color, size even, to their attitude or personality. They might be angry, happy, sad, or anything like that. So if you take a look here, here's Madeline. She, perhaps you've seen her in some books, movies. She comes about. I want you to discuss first with yourself and then with the partner. Tell what you see about this character. The direct characterization. She is. What is she wearing? Well, what is her attitude? And then when you get through with that, we go on to indirect characterization, which shows, it doesn't tell, but it shows the character. And this is usually done through actions and dialogue. You can learn a story or a movie can show you character through what they say and what they do. So, for instance, say someone says, "I hate these shoes." That's dialogue. But from that, you can figure out how they're feeling. Are they happy? Are they angry? Well, I hate these shoes. They are upset about those shoes. And you know that from what they say. Or even, it's Santa Claus. Someone is happy. They're excited because it's Santa Claus. They're meeting Santa Claus, or it's Christmas even, and you can tell that through what they're saying. So if you look over here, we have another character, one you probably are all familiar with, Superman. We know that Superman, like most heroes, is strong, brave, heroic. You know that. That's part of his main characteristics. But if you take a moment to think of the indirect characterization, what are some things he might say or he does that shows us that he is strong or brave? And if you think about it, you might say something like, he lifts trains. He rescues people. That shows that he is a strong character and that he is brave for rescuing people. You might say he is fast. How do you know he's fast? He can fly around the sun, anything like that. And you can do this with most any character. Their actions and what they say describes their behavior. And so for our activity, we're going to do one called squiggles. It's kind of fun, kind of silly. This is my squiggle. You don't have to copy this squiggle. You can make a squiggle of your own. But in short, if you draw a really quick squiggle, a line, something like this, you can copy this one if you like. From there, you'd fill it out. You'd illustrate it, and you would turn this squiggle into a character. You might add eyes, arms, legs. You can fill it out. For example, let me just grab my pen. We might fill this out. Add some eyes. And it's a happy character. Maybe. It looks terrifying, but it's happy. It's October. It's Halloween. We'll make it a ghost. It's a happy ghost. But this happy ghost, it has arms. That's always fun. I added very stubby legs. This is my character. And this is Timmy. Timmy the ghost. Timmy. That's horrible. So as you go through and decorate your squiggle, adding, features, clothing, coloring it in, which we might do. We might give him a raincoat. Maybe. This is Timmy. He has a raincoat. It's a horrible rendition, but it exists. When you get your character done, your squiggle completed, I then want you to go through and then, using both direct characterization and indirect, I want you to talk to your partner about your character. For instance, what are they wearing? What do they look like? That would be direct. You would say he is wearing, they are wearing. If you can do multiple characters. What would they be wearing? What might they have with them? They might be playing ball, or they might be a wizard. discuss what they look like, their appearance. And that is your direct characterization. You're telling them. And then indirect might be a little more tricky. And for this, you might add a background. What would your character be doing in that situation? And you can talk to your partner about that. And suppose that's it for this really quick lesson. I'll leave you to it.